that's going to be best suited for their future needs in one of these guys, and they have the roster space to do it. I think he makes their quarterback room better. I really like the way that he quickly diagnoses a play, gets the football out. He has a really quick release, so that's something that I find impressive, and a guy I'd like to see more out of is Diego Tello.
Yes, I think he's a guy who's going to be a star as a senior. So
credit
keep an eye on
to
him.
next level athlete Steve Gideon, who's been telling me about this guy for a while.
Oh, has he?
Being right, yeah.
Are they obnoxious, those guys?
No,
whenever,
they're great.
whenever one of them hits, though, are they like, "I told you"?
I've
no,
been sitting
not,
there trying to tell
not
you.
not at all, not at all.
Because I would be insufferable. That's like, I don't know. Like, let's talk about another UTSA quarterback, right? Like Eddie Lee Marburger. Like when Eddie Lee Marburger got committed to UTSA, like all of us were like,
We've
been
been
telling
trying
you.
to let the boy cook.
Exactly. Hold on, he's pulling up the back.
Well, I wanted to just see because there was debates. Like I go to these guys and we talk about these quarterbacks, and Diego Tello was one of the Texas top 300 in the magazine this year, and large credit to his ranking because he didn't have any offers when that list was put together. So the talent evaluators knew a little bit of something about Diego Tello, got him listed in that mag.
All right, let's go to so many commitments. Let's go to Richland. Talk about their wide receiver C.J. Nelson. He has pulled the trigger, committing to SMU. This is notable because this is, I guess you could probably call it a win in the recruiting battle of the Iron Skillet.
Yep.
He's a one-time TCU commit. He had offers from a lot of Power 5 schools, including like Oregon, Texas Tech, Utah, Arizona State, and now he's a top 100 guy, a hot 100 guy on TexasFootball.com/recruiting, and now he's going to go to SMU. I mean, you talk about drawing a circle around DFW and doing some work within it. That's what SMU's doing here.
Love C.J. Nelson. We talked about him when he committed to TCU. He's a twitchy wide receiver who's best suited to play in the slot. SMU had a huge recruiting weekend. They had C.J. Nelson on campus, Chase Biddle, Jordan Hudson. We talked about him last week as a guy who to really keep your eye on, and they put their best foot forward with all three of those guys and then ended up getting a commitment from Nelson, who was a recent TCU commit. So that kind of tells you the recruiting power of what SMU is bringing to the table right now to go head-to-head with a Power 5 school, right, and you're basically in your same city. Yeah. So that's the rivalry shall continue.
Yeah, but don't cry for TCU because they got themselves a pretty good wide receiver this week as Matthew Golden, the Klein Kane wide receiver, checked in and committed to the TCU Horned Frogs. Is a guy who checks in at the number 69 in the DCTF Hot 100. Like this guy a lot, and a guy who, we talked a little bit about Jadon Blue and him opting out of his senior season. Don't sleep on Klein Kane because they've still got this guy. And Matthew Golden is a star who we figure to see this weekend in College Station.
Matthew Golden is one of those guys who you always come away impressed with because of his hands. He catches everything. And he'll be even more impressive in the 7-on-7 setting where you can actually see him work without pads, see how he uses his hands to catch the football naturally away from his body. But you won't see him having a lot of drops, right? This is a guy who, you can see him right there just reaching out and plucking that ball out of the air, making it look really easy. Different receiver than C.J. Nelson. I see Golden as a guy who could play out of the slot some, but I think he's more of an outside receiver. He's a decent blocker, pushes the defensive back, but he's one of those guys you can go to each and every play. He's a go-to receiver, so he's different than C.J. Nelson. But they're very similarly rated. C.J.'s, I think, got him edged by a couple spots in our wide receiver rankings. I think C.J.'s 9 and Golden's 11, but that could easily change. He's one of the guys I'm most excited to see because he was one of those that was in that 4-star discussion. He's been playing and putting up stats for a while now. He's got experience.
So one more thing before we let you go, before we talk with Nick Evers from Flower Mound, the Florida commit. You are going to be at 7-on-7 this weekend.
Yep.
You're going to be out there in College Station watching some dudes. We've named a number of them that we're going to see down there. Guys like Hut Graham, guys like Matthew Golden, things like that. Who else? Give me a couple other names that you are particularly interested in watching this weekend in College Station. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Sure. And just if you're wanting to read more about these top prospects in College Station who'll be performing this week, TexasFootball.com/recruiting. just published.
How about
Literally
that?
just pushed the button on the top prospects to watch in College Station this weekend.
Wow.
The timing, impeccable
So
timing.
good.
Guys that I'm really excited to see. Jared Kerr at Lexington.
Yeah.
He's a guy who I'm really excited to see because he's so versatile.
He might be the most electrifying player out there at any level. I think at any level. I mean, this kid is incredible. He's lightning in a bottle.
He's the guy in D3 who I really have circled. I have to see him. D2, Reuben Owens will be there. But a guy who I'm excited to see is Jace Jones from Silsbee. He's a 6'6", 220-pound tight end. Tight ends in 7-on-7 are monsters if you have a good one. So I'm really excited to see him, see what he's bringing to the table. He's a great basketball player. But the D1 tournament is, as always, it's absolutely loaded.
It's stupid, man. It's I mean, like it's funny because it feels like there's some years in which like there's a couple of big time prospects there, but like you can kind of narrow in on them. This year, it's like. I mean, how many did you write for the in Division
So
1?
I did 3 prospects to watch in D3,
Okay.
5 to watch in D2, and 15 to watch in D1.
15. I mean,
So-
it's crazy.
The quarterback scene is going to be pretty good. Cade Klubnik, Connor Wegman, a guy that I really always love to watch in 707, Garrett Rangel, but Mabry Matauer from the Woodlands. I'm excited to see him. Weston Smith, Cole Welliver. So you have some of the young puppies, the next generation. You remember we saw Quinn Ewers 2 years ago, and that's really that 7-on-7 tournament where he led them to the state championship game was, in a way, his coming out party, especially on the Texas high school football scene. But if I'm hoping and praying that this happens, I'm super stoked to see Caleb Burton play at Lake Travis.
I know.
I'm interested to see
So that's the
Jackson
one.
Arnold after your riveting.
Good kid,
Review.
and another quarterback to put on that list. But Caleb Burton is that guy. How does he change the Lake Travis offense? And what does he look like after missing what was virtually his entire year last year? I think he only played some snaps in the first game. So that's a guy just for rankings purposes and that kind of stuff. He's like one of the guys who I'm most excited to actually get my eyeballs on.
He is Greg Powers, an XL athlete. He'll be in College Station this weekend, and he loves surprise hugs. Follow him on Twitter at GPowerScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter at Next Level D1. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And stay right there because you're going to introduce the next segment.
Let's do it.
After this, because as we mentioned, we're going to be in College Station this weekend for the State 7-on-7 tournament. This is our last show of the week. But if you miss us, don't worry. We've got some football content for you because you can watch the State 7-on-7 tournament live.
No, we're going to state.
Oh, no, what happened?
I clicked the wrong button.
How about that?
And it was just Nick Evers staring into the camera.
Well, let's get to that. The State 7-on-7 tournament you can watch live for free.
Oh, free.
TexanLive.com this weekend. June 24th through 26th, the State 7-on-7 tournament live for free on TexanLive.com thanks to our friends at the Texas Army National Guard sponsoring it, making it for free. We could have charged, but they were like, no. We'll pick up the tab. Texas Army National Guard picking up the tab. Thanks to them for making the free broadcast of the State 7-on-7 tournament possible. TexanLive.com. So make sure tomorrow, starting, I guess, about 1 o'clock.
Yep.
Tomorrow about 1 o'clock, we will be broadcasting the State 7-on-7 tournament. We won't. I should tell you, we're not going to have every game, but we will have. I think we have 4 fields going.
Yes. Well, yeah. Yes.
So
4
it's
fields.
so it's there
The
are
half
fields that are
fields,
cut in
yes.
half. Yes, exactly. So it's 4. It's 4.
2 fields, 4 games.
You should be
There
able.
we go.
There will be many times where you'll be able to watch 4 different games at once if you would like to. So Texas football or TexanLive.com is where you can watch the State 7-on-7 tournament. Powers, who'd you talk to this week?
So we spoke with Flower Mound quarterback Nick Evers, a guy who's made his verbal commitment to play in the SEC for Florida and will be representing the great state of Texas in the Elite 11 finals in the beginning of July. So a guy who has a lot of potential to be a star at the next level.
Here is Greg Powers' conversation with Flower Mound quarterback Nick Evers here on Texas Football Today.
Greg Powers, Dave Campbell's Texas Football. And like we do every week, we're joined with one of the state's top recruits. And this time, man, I'm real excited to have Nick Evers from Flower Mound High School on, man. You're actually the first person I invited to come on to the show to do this weekly segment for us over at TexasFootball.com. Our schedules couldn't get lined up, but since that time, man, things have just went to the moon for you. I mean, out of this world, a lot of great stuff has been happening in your life. I just want to really kind of talk about Flower Mound. Once you catch us up on what's going on at Flower Mound and how things have been going for you lately.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that we're kind of working on this off season. We didn't necessarily have the greatest season last year, and I think that's kind of like our main focus going into the off season is everyone's really trying to work as hard as possible so we can get the outcome that we want next year. We got a lot of veteran guys that have a lot of experience on the team. So I'm feeling pretty confident in what we got going on. I'm super excited. Everyone's kind of pumped up, just eager to get on the field again. So we're all pretty excited.
Just talk about how you overcame adversity to grab that starting spot last year. I mean, basically taking leadership of the team, and now heading into your senior season, how much are you looking forward to actually being, that guy that everybody looks to for not only leadership, but to rally behind?
That's just like the role that I kind of wanted and accepted. Just being a quarterback, naturally, you're kind of the leader, kind of leading everything, just having full reins of everyone. So that's something that I wanted going into this season and going into this position is, just being the leader, top guy that everyone looks up to. So just handling that adversity, I was really just putting a lot of work off the field, trying to outwork any competition, whether that's in the classroom or looking at film or just like pure athleticism. It's just like I wanted to do better than whoever was competing with me.
Nick, I don't feel like it's fair for me, man, because I think I saw you step on the field. I don't even know if it was one of your first times like in the spotlight, but I think it was a flex 7-on-7 practice or something like that before you had even won the starting job at Flower Mound, and you were dropping some pretty dimes out there into your receiver's hands. Now I see you basically grow up before my eyes, and I watch you out there throwing at the Elite 11 regional. And I was like, man, this is really cool to watch this guy really develop from a guy who was fighting for that starting quarterback job into a guy who's now an Elite 11 finalist. Just kind of talk about the rise with that. All the offers came in, all this crazy stuff happened to you. Just it's got to be surreal in some ways.
Yeah, so I kind of like my whole mentality this whole time is really just like keep your head down and work. If you're always working hard and taking care of business, all the accomplishments will come eventually. Your hard work will eventually pay off, and that's something that me and my family and my QB coach Kevin Murray, that's really been like our discussion is just keep working. Everything will fall into place. God's got a plan. So, just having that mindset of just keep on grinding, it's really ended up working out for me, I would say. But getting this Elite 11 finalist invite was definitely surreal. I really couldn't even believe that I got it because I mean, my whole life I've been watching the Elite 11 finals. I just watching those guys, just wanted to be a part of that fraternity is just something I always kind of dreamed of. So now that I can be a part of that is really it's awesome. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to go out to LA and show everyone what I can do.
We're going to dive into recruiting eventually. I got to ask you a little bit about Florida and all that. But what I noticed is watching your recruiting process is like, even when you went on the official visit, and you touched on this in your last answer, is how big family is for you. You have a great family. I've met your parents. Really enjoyed the pictures. I think it was of you and your little sister maybe on the Florida visit. Just talk about how your family's been important to you as you went through the stressful process of having to pick a college and get recruited and go through this entire process.
Yeah. So, my family's been involved with really just my whole football journey ever since I picked up the football. So, I'm really a family oriented guy. I put family, or it goes God, family, than everything else. That's what I've been taught, and I live by that. So, just really just sticking to the roots. My parents have been very supportive of me and my siblings, and so just going through this whole recruiting process with them has been a journey. We been through a lot. I say this recruiting process, especially the pandemic, it's definitely kind of screwed things around. It's not technically a normal situation that recruits have to deal with all over the nation. So just really sticking to my roots has been something that I kind of just pride myself on, and that's honestly part of the reason, or part of the thing that I was looking for in a football program, is how well they accept my family, not just me, but how comfortable they really make my mama feel. Because I'm going far away from home, so I want her to feel as comfortable and safe as possible. And Florida kind of did that for her, and she feels 100% comfortable and excited for me to get down to Gainesville and do my thing. So.
Leadership is a word that quarterback coaches, they use that word a lot. One of the ways I define leadership is guys want to kind of rally behind certain guys. And you were kind of a trendsetter in a way, making an early commitment to Florida. And it seems like since that time, a lot of Texas guys have really been interested in that brand, want to go play for the Gators. Kind of talk about how you have taken on recruiting responsibilities as a quarterback commit. I know you're recruiting guys from the Lone Star State to come with you to the Swamp.
Yeah. So my whole thought process behind just me recruiting so hard like I am right now is I'm trying to build something special down at the Swamp, something that I want to write my own path, write my own legacy. That's kind of my whole mentality going into this, and that starts off with getting the right group of guys to help achieve that goal in my class. And that's really why I recruit so hard, is because I want to build something special, and I want to be memorized for the achievements that we did as a team. And it really just took pride, and that's really what I wanted to do. This whole recruiting process is try to get like a bunch of group of guys, talented group of guys, down to the Swamp. If that's from the Lone Star State, great, but I'm really just kind of talking all over the nation, trying to build something special down at the Swamp. So
nice, man. And you mentioned the pandemic. Coming out of the pandemic, you got to go on the official visit, and like never before, fans and people who follow recruiting are brought kind of behind the scenes to see what's going on. There's pictures and videos available of these official visits. But what truly was it like, man, after you've been waiting so long to set foot on campus? And I know they rolled the red carpet out for you. So what was the trip truly like? Give us a little bit of a behind the curtain on what an official visit is like for a top prospect.
Yeah, it was honestly amazing. I had a great time over there. The coaches were super open and welcoming for not just my family, but really everyone that was there. They had a true passion for what they're doing. You could tell. It's a super family oriented team. But as far as just like the experience, we got to see a bunch of things that not a lot of people get to see just strolling around campus. Getting to try on the uniforms and really bonding with the players that are on the team right now is something that I thought was pretty cool. Just kind of just getting that feel of how the guys were like on the team, because one day in a few months, actually, those are going to be my brothers, and those are going to be people that I look up to. So just building a relationship with them was really cool. And obviously building a relationship with the coaches, Coach Mullen and Coach McGee, and really everyone on the staff. I got the chance to talk to a lot of coaches in depth, so that was pretty cool. And honestly, like another favorite part of mine is really just bonding with all the other recruits that we're trying to get down at the Swamp. I feel like everyone kind of enjoyed it, just being around everyone. We all kind of bonded really well. So I think that just made like the whole weekend really just like, it was like the cherry on top. All the recruits seemed to really like each other. So, it was a really fun weekend.
I can't get enough of the recruiting edits and the photos and all that stuff, because there's been so much recruiting going on. And I have to say, Florida's really done a great job with how they've been marketing to recruits on social media and all the cool stuff that they've put out there. So I bet it was a lot of fun, man. It did look like a blast. Seeing those pictures of you and your family, I'm sure made a lot of guys want to try to come experience that same thing. Thanks for the time, man. Congratulations on all of the all of the accolades and all of the attention you have. Everybody from Texas is going to be rooting for you in that Elite 11, and especially when you move on to college and play in the SEC.
There is Nick Evers, the quarterback of the Flower Mound Jaguars and the Florida commit, talking with Greg Powers, who sits right here. And for the post-game interview about the interview, here's
great kid,
Greg Powers.
man.
Yeah,
great kid. Love to hear him talk about his family and how they played a big role in his decision-making process to go to Florida. And I love seeing the pictures of him and his little sister on the visit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cute.
most certainly. I think it's going to be. I think he's a star. And look, Florida has a good history of coming into the Lone Star State and picking up quarterbacks.
And they are on fire.
Yeah.
Nick kind of talked about, you heard him talk about it, the way he's taken an active role in recruiting players to Florida. But he said he's not just stopping in Texas. Florida's a national brand, and they're trying to get guys from all over the country. So he has his eye on some guys in Texas, but he's also now an active recruiter on the national football landscape as well.
Now let's go over to Ashley Pickle for a very, very special edition of America's second favorite segment, Final Thoughts.
Ain't that special?
Oh, okay. Well, I was trying to build this thing up and maybe give you the confidence to deliver a good segment, but apparently not.
No, but a reminder, obviously programming reminder here. This is our last show of the. What is going on there? My goodness.
That's great stuff.
This is our last show of the week. We will be heading out to College Station basically now. So
Yeah, we're packing up right now.
TexasFootball.com/7on7. We'll have all sorts of stuff. We'll also have, I guess we can tease this, but we're doing instant reaction videos.
Yeah.
Each day. So if you haven't gone and subscribed to the Dave Campbell's YouTube page, it's youtube.com/DaveCampbellsTF. If you subscribe, it'll alert you when those instant reaction videos are up. So we'll have 3 of those going up. So enjoy that.
And of note today, because I know she'll appreciate this shout out because because she listens to the show. You got to meet my mom.
I did.
My mom brought me
Tep
coffee.
Mom. It was awesome.
My mom brought me coffee.
She's a sweet lady.
She got to come in and say hi to the staff.
Yeah.
So.
It's good to finally meet her in person.
Powers just couldn't stop cursing. It was
She
awful.
really likes your magazine.
She really weird, right? Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, my mom came in and she was like, you guys are cool, but this magazine garbage. That would have been
absolutely
tough for the old ego here.
I do think that Pickle. I think that your final thoughts was going to be about the dual-sided tape and how it should be made better.
No, that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah, that is a conversation for another time. I thought I had one other thing.
I'll pop off about it.
Yeah, I know. My mom came in, and the worst thing she did was that she was talking with Shahan, and she said, "I read your main feature on the Aggie defense, and I thought it was great." And now now Shahan's gonna ask me for a raise.
Yeah,
he's gonna be
like
dude, your mom, dude, your mom really likes my work.
And how can
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Disagree with your mom?
How can you say no to that?
I know, it's like
and she said it so
cost Adam some money.
nicely, like she's
she's
so
like,
sweet.
it was really good. It was just a really good article. Anyway, it's gonna do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. If you see us in College Station, make sure you come up and say hi. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to Flower Mound quarterback Nick Evers for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle and Greg Powers, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you Monday on Texas Football Today.